Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan. Yes, my computer had some corona. We're just chilling. We're about to get into Resident Evil real quick, but I saw an article here that I wanted to kind of bring up. Why Sony doesn't need Spider-Man. Why Venom doesn't need Spider-Man anyways. It's something that has kind of been in the back of my head here since seeing that trailer for Venom 2. Why Venom doesn't need Spider-Man anyways. And it looks like they have a video, so let's go ahead and just do kind of a reaction about it. I am very curious about it because I feel like most people just don't even care, honestly, about like the importance of kind of the synergy that you like. Without Spider-Man, there really is no Venom, right? That's what kind of made it some partially interesting, but whatever. Let's see how it goes here. Let me take a look and see what this article is all about. Here's the video. That ain't it. Because it's not Venom, it's a blue thing. Yeah, I understand about that. Whoa, what is this all about? Oh. Okay, that looked much better. Alright.
Sony is laying the foundation for its own cinematic superhero universe, and Marvel fans have one question. Are Sony movies like Venom and Morbius set within the MCU? But maybe there's a better question fans should be asking. Does it even matter? If there's been
okay,
one
but first and foremost, you notice how literally you just showed the other Spider-Man movies. So like, all right, whatever though. Let's go.
The MCU. But maybe there's a better question fans should be asking. Does it even matter? If there's been one takeaway from Marvel's Venom comics over the past few years, it's that this lethal protector doesn't need Spider-Man to succeed. Let's break down how Venom has grown to become a franchise player in his own right.
Okay, again, that's grown though. Grown to be. That's like saying you don't need Joker and Harley Quinn. You don't need Joker in a Harley Quinn storyline. Okay, like without Joker, there would be no Harley Quinn. Yeah, okay. This sounds already dumb, but. Like, you know, it's totally fine to have Birds of Prey, but there is going to be references every once in a while to Joker, because that's an important part of Joker, of Harley Quinn's life, like anything.
When Venom first leapt onto the scene in 1988's The Amazing Spider-Man number 300, he was portrayed as the dark antithesis to Spider-Man. Eddie Brock was a struggling journalist who lost his credibility thanks to Spider-Man and became consumed by revenge. He even wears Spidey's old costume, giant spider emblem and all. In those days, it was impossible to separate the two characters. However, it wasn't long before high sales convinced Marvel to spin Venom out into his own solo comics. Venom started to see himself as a lethal protector. His methods may be more brutal than Spider-Man, but they both want the same thing.
Okay, yeah, but here's another thing. Do I have that image around here? Because people keep on bringing that up, right? People keep bringing that up about Lethal Protector. Like, oh, but he had his own series. I'm like, literally, Spider-Man's in the first issue. He's literally literally on the top part here, it says guest starring Spider-Man. Come on now. Like, yes, it's his own series, but Spider-Man was almost in the first 12 issues, or maybe 6 to 12 issues. Like, alright, let's keep going.
In the end, with a new mission and a new city to protect in the form of San Francisco, Venom took his first steps toward escaping Spider-Man's shadow. Venom's early solo adventures illustrate that Eddie Brock's problems began long before Spider-Man ruined his life. As a man with serious self-loathing issues and a childhood full of emotional abuse, Eddie truly is his own worst enemy.
It's no surprise to me, I am my own.
Venom going solo was the start, but the character really began to detach from the Spider-Man franchise when the symbiote left Eddie Brock behind.
Right.
In 2003's Marvel Knights Spider-Man, Eddie auctions off his symbiote after being diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Yeah.
The symbiote passes from gangster Angelo Fortunato to former Scorpion Mac
Yep.
Gargan, before finally finding a more permanent home with Peter's former high school bully, Flash Thompson. For Flash, a veteran dealing with the loss of his legs, bonding with Venom and becoming a secret agent in service of the U.S. government is a chance for him to finally live up to Spider-Man's example. But Flash proves Venom can be more than just Spider-Man 2.0. He becomes a member of both the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. He travels to the far end of the Marvel Universe and learns much more about the Clintar, the symbiote's alien race.
Right.
It becomes clear that Venom's story is much bigger than just the rivalry between Peter Parker and Eddie Brock, but even that was just the beginning. These days, Eddie has reclaimed his symbiote and resumed his role as Venom, but he's a small fish in a much bigger pond now. Marvel's 2018 Venom comic has introduced a brand new mythology for the symbiotes. It turns out the Clintar were created by Null, a god of darkness who existed before the Big Bang. The giant emblem on Venom's chest isn't actually a spider, it's a symbiote dragon. Null despises light, life, and anything that disturbs his slumber. Null is even the creator of All Black the Necrosword, the weapon wielded by Thor's nemesis, Gore the God Butcher. It turns out Peter Parker wasn't even the first human to bond with the symbiote. Symbiotes have been traveling to Earth for centuries, with one battle between Norse warriors and a symbiote dragon even inspiring the legend of Beowulf. The US military also harnessed symbiote fragments to create a team of super soldiers in the Vietnam War. This new Venom mythology recently reached its climax in Marvel's King in Black, which ends with Null being destroyed and Venom taking his place as the god of the symbiotes. For a guy whose life's ambition used to be destroying Spider-Man, Venom really has moved up in the world. It remains to be seen just how much the Venom movies will tie into the larger Spider-Man franchise, but it should be clear by now that Venom doesn't actually need Spider-Man to succeed. Peter Parker is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
I don't feel so good.
Do you think Null will appear in a future Venom sequel? Will we ever see Flash Thompson become Agent Venom? Let us know what you think in the comments, and keep watching IGN for more on the Sony universe of Marvel characters.
So I get what he's saying. I get where he's coming from in the fact that Venom has finally now stood on his own now. But it's still kind of, I don't, man, it irks me a lot. Like, the whole thing is like, when they just call the symbiote Venom, like, it could be the Venom symbiote, I get it, but the whole point was just like, look, man, you know, I know that it can't always be exactly as it is in the comics and the cartoon and all that, but it's just like, yo, you know, from now on, we're poison to you, Spider-Man. That's why we call ourselves Venom. Like, it's just like, yo, that shit is fucking dope, dude. Like I remember even in the early connotations of the video game, they're like, we are Venom. Like, the whole thing of just saying we, it's like, that was just the coolest thing, man. Like, I get it, but you know, like, so my whole thing is like somebody asked me, how come, you know, the reason he can't have the white spider, is because he hasn't met Spider-Man. And in some form, I get that point, but I also feel like, I mean, they've screwed the origin up so much at this point. It's kind of like whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like even in the movie itself, the Venom movie itself, we're not really seeing Venom at its full potential. We're just seeing like this brute, this gooey brute, you know. There's no web slinging, which is a crazy part of Venom to be doing anyways, right? Same thing with Carnage, is like, you know, Carnage is just like doing this wild jungle web slinging. The whole idea, at least for me, was the fact that, yeah, it was going to be the antithesis of Spider-Man. It is going to be a somewhat evil Spider-Man and what have you not. Yes, Spider-Man's black suit was inspired by Spider-Woman on Secret Wars, and okay, I'm flashing my nerd card too much here, but I guess my point. By the way, just a side story. I actually have the first appearance of the alien costume Secret Wars issue something, and I remember being at the Shrine Auditorium at a comic book back in the day when Comic Cons were actually about comics, and I remember I was buying these comic books off of out the back of the truck. And I remember this one woman didn't know what she was doing. Like she just selling, like she was just selling them whatever. And I remember I asked how much it was. And they're like, "How much is this?" And she was like, "Oh, cover price." Back in the when Secret Wars first came out, that comic was 75 cents. I bought the first appearance of the Venom symbiote for 75 cents. Best purchase ever. We are Venom now. All right, anyway. So, I think Venom fused with Carnage to get the white spider in that Ultimate version. Really? Okay. Because I remember Ultimate Venom. Ultimate Venom was a cancer, and I see that's what if I remember the first movie correctly, that's kind of what they were taking from that, right? It was like something they kind of did the space thing, and then they were they kind of did the whole thing from space, but at the same time they were also kind of doing the we're gonna cure cancer and help people, the sickness or whatever, right? The angle. And so the Ultimate Venom was something like that. Peter Parker and somebody else, I want to say Harry Osborn's family, they were trying to make a cancer fixing suit, and the Venom became that way. But then Carnage was created by killing Gwen Stacy, I think, like the blood of. I vaguely remember how all that went down, but whatever. It was. I never really liked the Ultimate Spider-Man line. Like, I'm a big fan of John Romita Jr., I believe, not Senior. And his work has changed a lot over the years. The Amazing Spider-Man, I've always liked his work, was really good, but with Ultimate Spider-Man, it just really wasn't for me. I thought the proportions of the body was always kind of strange. But anyways, there you go. Ultimate Carnage was created by the Lizard. There you go. Maybe the Lizard's blood or something like that, right? And killed Gwen. Yep. All right. So it is what it is, man. I mean, I personally, I feel like they can just, at this point with the Venom storylines, I feel like they can just kind of throw it in, because I don't really like this brute Hulk type Venom going around. Like, I wanted to see like him finessing and web slinging and doing whatever. If they're gonna go like the Knoll storyline, Venom symbiote's just like, whatever, I got a tattoo, look, it's a white dragon which looks like a spider or whatever, right? And let's just get that shit over with. Like, it's just there's a lot to critique Venom about, but I'm not gonna go down that route. I just hope that I don't understand why the graphics look so, like, the CG looks so bad. like it looks like it's rendering in real time. It looked worse than the theatrical Justice League movie. like, I don't know, man. All right, well, Red Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you guys think. We're out. Peace.